People think mastering is really tough. The reality is that it's pretty simple, but mastering the techniques of mastering a track is what makes it hard. Does that make any sense? I'll show you how you can master your song in 7 easy steps so you don't get overwhelmed by all the possible things and tools you could do and take, and you can finally get the professional results you want. But wait, why you should watch this video, and more specifically me? I'm the ex-guy, 10 years of experience music producer. I mix and master thousands of tracks, work with artists playing on festivals such as Tomorrowland and companies such as Beatport, Slay Digital and more. But for some reason most producers that I work with don't really get the step number 0 of mastering a song. They usually deliver a track completely unbalanced with no headroom and with lot of mixing issues. So listen carefully. Before you master your song, be sure to have a clean mix. This is essential. You can't transform a shitty mix into a hand with mastering. After all, it's still being a shit. You will basically have a louder shit, you know? But what mastering can do is to transform a cool thing in an even cooler thing. By the way, you can use this code, DXGuy, in our store to get a 10% discount on any product. You have sample packs, presets, ebooks, courses and more. Ofive.com, link in the description. It's important to know that I'm not any kind of guru. I'm just showing what works for me, my clients and the labels they sign for. So now that we have a better understanding and a clean mix, we can export the track. And then we should find 2 or 3 reference tracks that are similar to our track. These are very important, so don't miss this step. Then we can import the song into a new project. This is to keep things organized with no plugins in the mixer and a visual reference of the track. In this step, I like to add automations to shape the song. But before that, we need to be sure to have enough headroom. So what I will do here is to add a 30 balance and turn down the volume till I see that it peaks between -6 and -3. That should be good. So now let's start with the automations. What I usually do is I select the build up and a little bit of the drop, and I'll add another fret balance because we are going to automate the volume. So basically the idea here is to turn down the volume on the build up and get it back when the drop hits. This will not only add more power to the drop, but it will also shape the song. Remember that this should be something soft to do. Let's do something like this. Then I usually do the same thing with filtering and with an imager stereo. So I load an imager 2 by Isotope and an EQ, which I will filter the low and high cuts. This is doing the same thing, basically narrowing down the whole thing, so when the drop hits, we have that extra power. I call the next one the enhancement step, and this is where we're going to improve the overall sound. So I usually like to start with an OTT. I know this is controversial, but a very soft effect could be cool. Then we can move to the EQ. I like to start with a very low and high cut to remove the extra frequency that we don't hear, to add space. And then I start listening to the track a couple of times, finding frequencies that I want to boost or to reduce. So let's try. Don't let me go, don't let me go. So yeah, I added a couple of frequencies around this area to boost and to add more presence to the vocal, and we can find a little bit of mattiness on this area, so I reduced that a little bit. What we can also do is to find the frequency of the kick, where the kick hits, and to boost it a little bit to add extra power and punch. Let me go, don't let me go. Oh, my. As a general rule of thumb, if you have to boost or reduce, or in this step add too many effects or too hard, you should probably go back to the mix and try to fix that there. This part of the mastering process in general should be very soft tweaks. If you push it too hard, you are doing it for the whole track instead of that specific sound. So try to go back again to the mixing and fix it there. What it will also do is to add a spectrum analyzer. In this case, it's span. So the idea here is to compare the professional mix and master reference with our track, and we'll use these tracks as a guide so we can get the best possible sounding track. So what I will do is first I like to see the whole spectrum of all the tracks. Don't let me go. So yeah, what I will do now is to filter some bands. In this case, we have the lows up to 200 Hz. So So now we will do this band to band to compare and to add some minor tweaks, trying to aim for similar results as our reference tracks. This area is similar, so let's move with the second one. In this case, 200 Hz to 2000 Hz. I think I can reduce here, in this case up to 7000. A couple of hertz to reduce there, the last section. So great. The next thing I will probably add is a sub 2. This plugin basically reduces resonant and awful frequencies automatically. So I will set this to hard, so it's a little bit more precise, and I will make it harder for the highs and the mid. The next thing I'm gonna add is an isotope imager. This is a multi-band imager, so I'll keep it easy and click learn while I'm playing the track. So I'll start with the bass. Actually, it's gonna set this up to 150. And usually with the lows, we want to keep them as mono as we want, but not too hard. Some people say that go all the way down with this, which in my opinion, it kills the dynamics and the power of the lows. So I would probably go a little bit down to avoid some phasing issues. That's what we want. But something like this should be good. And yeah, widening a little bit more the highs adds more bright to this track. By the way, I'll also leave a free PDF download so you can access to all of this information easier when you're mastering, so check the description to find it out. Here's when we start getting that commercial sound, because in this next step we're going to compress. In this case, I like to use the glue compressor. I usually go around 4:1 ratio with around 10 or 30 ms of attack. This is to let the transient go through so we don't kill the dynamics, and a mid release. And now I'm gonna start pushing the threshold till we have some gain reduction. Again, we don't want too much here, but we want to compress to glue all the track and all the sounds together. So also turn on the big click button. Now if we push the makeup knob too hard, it will start showing a red light here. So this is basically limiting and cutting everything on the 0 dB so the track doesn't peak. So I'll start boosting the makeup till we see a little bit of this red light. This is to cut some of the hard peaks that we have. This is probably the biggest secret when it comes to mastering. Adding distortion or saturation can help you achieve that extra commercial loudness. In this case, we are going to add a soft clipper, which is a type of distortion effect where the amplitude of a signal is saturated along a smooth curve. In other words, it's basically a soft kind of distortion or saturation. Recently, I found this plugin is called Free Clip and it's actually free. We can tweak around with the modes, making it softer or not. So let's start playing around. Yeah, that's great, but the most important step in mastering is limiting. This will increase the overall level to achieve our desired commercial sound, but also to limit the signal to 0 dB so we don't get digital distortion above 0 dB. In this case, I like to use invisible limiter, and the question here is how loud you want to go. So loudness is measured in LUFS. I'm gonna check how loud is our track at the moment. So it's around -10, and there's a big discussion about the loudness number you should get. This is called the loudness war, and I encourage you to do your research about this topic, but I like to keep it from around -6 to -8 LUFS. So I will start pushing the limiter till we get this number.
don't let me go.
By the way, remember not to go too hard with the limiter to avoid overcompression and distortion.
Oh my, don't let me go. Don't let me go.
Once you're done with limiting, you can export your track, and the idea here is to listen everywhere you can. Literally everywhere. With your monitors, with your headphones, in your car, in your phone, and in your TV.
Oh wait, that shouldn't be there. But anyways, if this was helpful in any way, subscribe for more and click the like button if you liked it so I know and I upload more of this.
I know these skills are hard to get and it takes a lot of practice, especially in the mixing, but there are a lot of tips and tricks you can do to get better results, like in this video where you can find 7 mixing tips every producer should know. As you now know, it's very important to get a clean mix, so in this video I'm showing what I think there are must-know tips for mixing. My name is X Guy and I see you in the video. Bye.